from Midwest United. It's my first year here as a head coach. I played with him last year as a player, but Hector gave me the opportunity this year to take over and try to grow this team, and I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Welcome, Gio. It's great to have you here at the AGM, and great to see some input on what some of your style and influence is during our sessions today. So it was a great insight that unfortunately the fans haven't gotten to see, but I've gotten to see. So why don't we talk through a little bit of that? So tell me about how you ended up with Midwest United, how long you've been with them, and kind of the history of what got you here to FCS.
Yeah, it's a funny story actually. Me and Hector went to the same elementary, and we kind of went our both ways in high school, college, but we were best friends in elementary. And he actually made a Hispanic league team a few years ago, and I was a part of that. And then he got into the futsal side, and he's always wanted me to join and kind of help him grow the futsal. And I've always been with Ole, who's actually one of our teams joining the league. So I'm always up for a challenge. I'm always up for a change, and I figured I know Hector, I know some of the coaches already. I wanted to take a new route and challenge myself a little bit, so I ended up with them, and honestly it's been going good. But there's a lot of things that I want to do. I want to do with this team, and I'm just looking forward to that and getting the season started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And as you said, first year here in a coaching capacity.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that. Big moves and staying with the organization. Tell me a little bit about what's influencing your coaching style and where you're getting your inspiration from right now.
Honestly, a lot of it comes from Fabian, who's like I said, he was my coach growing up, and from men's side to I grew up playing with him on the club side as well. So a lot of my knowledge is Fabian, and now as futsal is growing around the world, we got the World Cup happening right now. So being able to watch that too, getting ideas, and there's a lot of new ways that we can get knowledge, and it's been really good to see. And like I said, a lot of that I'm looking forward to implement it in our game now in this season, and I'm just really excited to see how that turns out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what your expectations are for the season. How's your experience going to change from being a player to being a coach?
I'm a very competitive player, and Hector got on a good start here in this league, and I want to continue to bring that and obviously win the league and compete with these other teams. And I think Jeremy wants the same thing. He's bringing in teams that want to compete, that are willing to do everything each game, and adding Ole to the league as well it's huge. They have a good resume behind them as well, and expectations from our players are going to be high. I want them to compete against each other, to compete against the league, against other players, and like I said, I think I have a little, how do I say this, a little pressure behind my back. I know Hector's expecting me to come out here and do big things for this team, but like I said, I like to challenge myself, and I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about the influence on you outside of Grand Rapids. Obviously a very rich futsal culture in Western Michigan, and you guys have seen a lot of competition even in your backyard. What have been some of the outside influences from, say, professional players, players or teams you're following that are also going to have some impact on how you think and how you instruct your boys this season?
Yeah, like I said, being able to watch the World Cup, I think Brazil has always been in the conversation. And Ferrao is one of their main players, and just seeing him and just seeing the passion behind all those players, and not even just Brazil, but like I said, futsal overall is just growing. But I know even if we talk local, Lantine has a big name behind them. Ole, all these clubs are very, very passionate, not only about competing, but about growing the sport. So being able to take something from one coach, one club, and trying to style it the best that's fit for me is something that I look forward to. To me it's very fun being able to experiment, add new things, whether it goes well, whether it doesn't go well, but just seeing how my players react to those ideas. Especially this year, some of my players that I have now, they haven't played futsal before, So it'll be the first time, and so I have players that are very experienced on the futsal side. So also being able to see them help those players out, getting those players that don't know much about it, being able to take in all that information. It's very exciting as a coach to see those players grow in this game and keep wanting to play, and it's just very exciting, I guess.
You mentioned the guys that are new to the court. What are you looking for in those players as you're looking to expand your field of futsalers?
Like I said, my expectations for every player are going to be the same: go out, compete. As far as me giving them information, how much information can they take in this first year? It's not going to be perfect for them. It's not going to look pretty. But as long as the player's taking in information and is willing to apply that information on the court, I think we would have a good thing going. So, all I ask is they try their best. Like I said, it's not going to be pretty, but like I said, we're not bringing players that don't know how to play soccer. They know how to play soccer. So as long as they can kick a ball and get all the information, a few years from now or even next year, they'll get the hang of it, and set pieces will come into play, rotations, and all that stuff, and they'll get used to it. But the first year will be mainly to take information in and try to apply that into the game.
With that in mind, what's expectations for results this season? What are you guys eyeing as a positive win this year?
We like to come out strong every year. Last year we made it to the finals. Fortunately, we had a tough loss, but every year is to make it to the final. Try to win as many games as possible. Especially at home, we have a great, we have our club, Midwest United. There are kids that come out and support us, parents that come out and support us, college players that come out and support us. So, like I said, I think we have some pressure on our back, and I think that's honestly going to help us out this year and try to come out and try to win every game that we possibly can. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. We have said some names that I already mentioned. Detroit Imperial. They've always given us, a challenge, but we're a team that drives off challenge, and we're just looking forward to that.
Having Olay join the league this year and kind of having that in-town rivalry, is that something you guys read into? Is that a rivalry? Do you guys feel that there's some brotherly angst there in the spirit of competition, or what?
No, I don't think so. I think it's two teams playing and doing what they like to do, and no team likes to lose. If we did like to lose, I don't think we'd be playing the sport, especially that it's so fast-paced. But we're all good friends still. We all play, like I said, Hispanic League. We all played in small leagues in Grand Rapids, so we all know each other. And I think both teams are going out there to give it their all, and whoever comes out on top is going to come out on top. And at the end of the day, I think we both, especially me and knowing Fabian, we want to play good futsal and try to play good futsal as much as possible. So I think it should be fun going against them.
What do you think about the futsal landscape as a whole? I mean, obviously you guys are in a bit of a hotbed for it, but as you look at what's going on within the country, bigger picture, what's kind of your take on where things are at and where they're going in the future?
I think locally things are going in the right direction. I think there's a lot of people that are very passionate about futsal, that are willing to either get in a meeting or trying to get workshops going, and as far as locally, I think is going in the right direction. But obviously futsal is everywhere. There's been conversations about things aren't going with the national team. They've gone through 2 coaches in a short period of time. So I think once we figure that part out, everything else will tie together, and more places will want to support more smaller clubs, and I think it's just a matter of people supporting each other, and I think Jeremy, Fabian, Midwest United, Hector on our side are doing a good job of trying to get together and trying to stay connected, and just trying to make this as good as possible.
That's awesome. Yeah. What's a bit of a target for you guys on the calendar? Are there any games that you've specifically got circled that you're a little excited about?
Yeah, so our first game is actually against Olay, so we're going to open up our season with a bang, and then obviously Lansing coming out here, them coming to us. those are always fun games. And like I said, Detroit Imperial, they like to come out on top as well. And I think this league is just adding teams, and not just any team, but teams that are willing to compete. And I think that it's going to grow, and it's in the right direction.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gio, what's a player to watch on your roster that you're really excited to see how they perform this year?
So I have two. One of them is George, who will be the captain this year. Very passionate about the sport. He's always willing to learn. He's always asking questions. He's watching games by himself at home, whatever it is. But a player that's been with Hector, who first started this at Migos, came over to Midwest, and he was with him by his side. So very passionate about the sport. And then Fikret, who's playing at Aquinas now. He grew up playing futsal, very talented, skillful. And like I said, he's been around the sport for quite some time now, so his experience is there. I think a lot of players are expecting him to come out and perform to the best he can, and I think a lot of players will follow that. And he also brings a lot of potential, and a lot of, not just for himself, but for players around him. And I think that a lot of players are going to follow his energy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Gio, it sounds like it's an exciting season ahead, and you guys, like you mentioned, have had a taste of success in the series before. We got our first true regular season for the league happening this year, so a bit of a format change in the travel. So a lot of challenges up ahead. Is there anything as a new coach that you're concerned about that might be a weakness that you have to overcome this year?
I think for a lot of us, the travel might be, the hardest part. Getting players. Maybe some players have, a soccer game going on with the club they're committed to, or indoor soccer is also around in the winter. So I think travel and trying to figure out schedules might be one of the hardest things. But as far as that, I think we're all very committed, and I think we all want to play futsal. We all enjoy playing futsal. So I think things will work out at the end.
That's awesome. Well, Gio, best of luck this season. High expectations, of course, for a team that's tasted victory before, and we look forward to seeing how you guys do this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.